Hi, Pamela. I'm so glad you're here with me. This is Pamela Plick, and she is a wonderful person. I just want to say that right up front. Pamela is on a mission to help women confidently build wealth from the inside out. Oh, I like that. She brings the knowledge and expertise of working with high net worth clients to everyday women. I also like that. Pamela empowers them with education, tools, and strategies to feel confident about their relationship with money, becoming financially secure, and learn how to use money to make a positive impact. Welcome, Pamela. I'm so glad
Oh,
you're here.
thank you, Tanya. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate the invitation.
The work that you're doing, and even just in reading this introduction, I'm like, the things that stand out to me are security, because women need that. And also high net worth clients and everyday women. So we can use the same tools that high net worth clients use.
Absolutely.
Sounds like, and
Yes.
I wanted to ask you more about, like, what are some of the ways that women give away their money power that they don't even realize they're doing?
Yes. There's actually three ways. The first way is turning over their finances, completely turning over their finances to someone else to manage. Now, and I'm not saying, it's great to have an advisor, a trusted advisor. However, you need to be a partner in that relationship with your advisor. So what I am saying is that women should not completely turn over the management of their finances, just blindly turn over.
Right.
Whether it's a family member, spouse, or advisor, because you need to be engaged around your money. That's most important. Okay.
Yeah.
The second way that women give away their money power is putting other needs ahead of their own. Now, when it comes to finances, a lot of us are moms, right? We want to help our children. However, we want to look at, is it putting us at risk financially by helping others, whether, it's our children, a friend or whoever it might be. And, it's interesting because I talk about the 8 money archetypes. Mm-hmm. And one of the archetypes that shows up in women a lot of times is the martyr. And the martyr is sacrificing, our own needs for the needs of others. And, and because traditionally women are the nurturers, the caregivers, we take care of everyone else.
Right.
That's what happens. So it's important not to put others' needs ahead of our own. And one of the analogies that I use is, I'm sure you've been on a plane recently, right? Or maybe not recently, but been on an airplane. Yes. At some point, right?
Been a while.
And they go through, the attendant goes through the safety features, right? And so what do they tell you? If the cabin pressure drops,
put the mask over your own nose and mouth first and help somebody.
That's right. And so that's the same thing with our own personal finances. Take care of ourselves first, because the best gift that we can give are either our family members or those that love us is to be self-sufficient, right, and not to be a burden in our older years. And the third and most important ways, or most important mistake what I say is that women make, is procrastination. And the good news is this is over.
Did you see my face when you said that?
So you can relate to that
a little bit.
Yes, procrastinating on making financial decisions. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, this is one that's easily overcome, through financial education and support. Yeah. But, procrastination, usually that comes out of fear, and the fear of making a mistake. because we don't know what to do. So if we can get that support, get that education, that will give us the confidence to take that inspired action.
Right, right. And so as you gaining in confidence in your security and making financial decisions for yourself and maybe for your whole family, it becomes so much easier because you have the support to back it up. You have the facts. Just the facts, right?
Right, absolutely. The facts, and that is one other thing, that we make mistakes in terms of letting our emotions drive our financial decisions, and really emotions as well as some of our beliefs around money that don't serve us. And what's important is that, like you said, we need to look at the facts. Are we making a decision from an empowered place? We've done the research, or we've gotten the support that we need, right? Making an informed decision, or are we operating from a place of fear or emotion? And that's so important.
Knee-jerk reaction can really end up being a bad situation because we're making it out of fear. And I talk about this a lot with my clients, because we don't make good decisions when we're in fight or flight. We don't make informed decisions. We don't have the decision-making capability when we're in fight or flight response that we do when we're in rest, digest, and heal response.
Absolutely.
So what I'm always teaching them to do is get yourself back out of fight or flight, do 4-count breathing, do tapping, do all the things that help create a space for you to make good decisions, creative decisions, empowered decisions. So yeah, we're on the same page there for sure. So I want to ask you, what are the pillars to building wealth for women entrepreneurs, being one myself?
Sure. Well, the first pillar is actually to build your vision. And I am just a firm believer in our vision is our compass. Create a big, grand vision for what you want your life to look like. It's your compass, it's your true north. It tells you where you're headed, and it keeps us, as entrepreneurs, sometimes, we get a little down, we sometimes we're questioning, because as an entrepreneur, there's ups and downs, right? And sometimes we may think, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard? But if you have that big
Were
vision,
you here the other day when I said that out loud?
Really? Did you?
Oh yeah. I said, why am I even doing this? But whenever I get to that question, I always go, I have the answer. It's right there. It just, sometimes it feels like I'm all alone in this. I'm not, but it feels like that. So sometimes the feeling can really overwhelm you. And you're saying, you have to have that vision to bring you back from the brink.
Absolutely. And write it out, the vision, not just financially, but what is your life going to look like? Let's say in 5 years, what is it going to look like, personally, professionally, spiritually, whatever is important to you, and have it posted somewhere. So when you do get into that mindset of why am I doing this, you have something to bring you back. The second is to let go of limiting beliefs, or beliefs that no longer serve you.
Yes.
And spiritual as well as emotional. Now, when I talk about the 3 pillars of money, there's three pillars that we need to address in order to have a good relationship with money. The first is the spiritual, the second is emotional, and then the third is the practical. Now, with the practical, we know that as an entrepreneur, we need to create a retirement plan, or we need to set aside reserves for when, if we need it in our business. Okay. But if we know what we're supposed to be doing, but we're not doing it, then there's something that needs to be addressed in the other two pillars. And so making sure that we address all three, and let go of those beliefs that no longer serve you. Some of the common ones that I hear, are that I'm not good with money. Now, again, that's coming back, that's going back to not having the confidence to make the financial decisions.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what I also work on with clients is what's the subconscious belief that you don't even know is running.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's find those and clear those up too. Ancestral beliefs and beliefs that have been handed down over generations and lifetimes.
Sure.
This is a belief. I have a story that I usually tell about this where the daughter goes to the mother and says, I want to make the ham like grandma makes. What do I do first? She said, well, first you cut off the ends of the ham. She goes, why do you do that? She says, I don't know. That's the way your grandmother did it. Ask her. So she goes to her grandmother and she says, so mom was telling me how to make this ham and I'm supposed to cut off the ends first. Why do I do that? She said, because that's the size pan I had.
Isn't that funny? What? It's so funny because I asked my mom a certain question the other day too. I said, why do you do that? And she said, well, because that's the way, my mom did it. And I'm like, but do you understand the reason behind why you're doing it? But it's so true.
Exactly. So you can carry these things on in money too. Like, why do we do it like this?
Absolutely.
Because that's the way it's always been done.
And, and it's interesting because one of the exercises that I take my clients through is the money bio. So we go back through, what's your first memory of money? And we go, age by age. How did you feel, about that situation? And, so we're looking at where those beliefs came from, and they are generational. But the good news is we can break those, the negative belief stops with us. And so then the third pillar is to create a prosperity mindset. And the best way to do that is to stay in gratitude.
Yay.
Be grateful for wherever you are in your financial situation, because that's going to give you the confidence to continue to move forward.
See, as you're listening to this interview, don't you feel better already? It's like we just have to think about these things for a moment, and it increases our vibration. So what's pillar number 4?
Pillar number 4 is that you can ask for support. That's number 4. Because, again, as women, we have a tendency not to want to ask for support, right? Do everything on our own. But it's so important to get that support you need, whether it's through community, whether it's working with a professional, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you need some guidance, but get that support. And then lastly, I want to tell entrepreneurs that it's okay to make money.
Yes.
It's okay to make money because, when I talk to a lot of creative entrepreneurs, it's interesting. I was having a conversation with a very successful entrepreneur, and she told me, when my CPA, I told her, I did not want to know how much money I made. Don't tell me how much money I made, because entrepreneurs are typically, they have a love-hate relationship with money. So they have, one foot in the spiritual, one foot, in the physical world. Right. And they don't want to think about money. They just want to do the work, help their clients, and that's it. But I'm here to tell you that it is okay to make money because we all want to live an abundant life, right? Okay. Yeah. And part of that abundance is prosperity. Now, the more money you make, the more good you can do in the world. Now, you don't have to keep the money if that's not what you want to do.
You can give it away.
There you go. You can give it away, to causes that you're passionate about, help family members, whatever it is you want to do.
I always watch PBS and, they say who's underwriting the programs on PBS. I'm like, that's the kind of underwriting I'd like to do where my name gets put on PBS, right?
Yes, yes, and I love that
The
because
foundation.
one of my passions also is women's philanthropy, and but philanthropy is not about, how much you give, it's how you give. So
Mm.
it is okay to make money. So I
Awesome.
want to make sure everyone knows that that's
It's
okay.
okay for you to make money. It is.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
some of that programming that we have is so ingrained, you don't even realize, because it's become what I talk about, the subconscious emotional memory. It's subconscious. It's now running things, which is what your subconscious does. It's running your physical body. But there's more subconscious going on than just running your physical body. It's also running how things are being attracted into your field of energy. So uh yeah, it's very important, very, very important. So
Right. And I just also want to say that
yeah,
that goes back to the three pillars.
yep,
Because like the spiritual, those that of us that had grown up in the church, maybe,
mhm,
there's certain religions that have certain beliefs. One of the
mhm,
common misquoted Bible references is money is the root of all evil. So if
right,
that's what you grew up with, and that's not
yes,
true, it's the love of money. So if that's what you're only focusing on, right, that's an example of spiritual. And then the emotional, looking at how I'm feeling, coming from a place of feeling,
right,
or lack, coming from a place of lack of
yes.
how was money talked about in your household when growing up. That's the emotional
Yeah, what if
side.
you weren't,
So,
it's like it's just like if you're not taught how to deal with your negative emotions, which is what I help people do, and you're not taught about how to deal with money and how there's plenty for everybody.
right.
There's plenty of money. I have friends who have seen pallets of money stacked up in a warehouse, right? I've not seen that, but they have, and they don't lie. They know that they've seen it. So there's plenty of money to go around.
Absolutely.
And what we have to do is unlock what's keeping us from it and it from us. That's
Right.
it's a deep thing too. It's not
Sure.
just superficial stuff we're talking about. So you're going deeply into places where people feel really insecure. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And one other thing I want to mention too, is, in terms of emotion, are there people that we need to forgive?
mhm,
Do we need to forgive ourselves?
yeah.
Are we holding
God,
on to past hurts and resentment? And as you well know, that causes, your energy to be stuck, doesn't allow that abundance and prosperity to come in because we're so focused on the anger, the resentment,
well, yeah, and it all
yeah,
comes back on you. It doesn't
yes,
actually go to the person or thing that you're upset with. It's actually affecting you more than anybody else. So
absolutely.
we have to clear that stuff up. So this is so interesting. I just want to talk to you about this for another 45 minutes, but I'm thinking there's a way. I also want to mention that Pamela's written a book, and one of the things that I just love about what she does is that she doesn't just, leave you with all this. She actually goes into those things, and her book is called Rise to Your Money Power, and it's a wonderful tome that you can actually read. It's not one of those books where a whole bunch of people contribute to the book. It's her book. Um, this is her work laid out for you. So we're going to put a link to that in the comments section here. But I just wanted you to talk a little bit more about what you feel like is what's the overarching idea that women need to take a hold of to really of all the things that we've talked about so far, what do they really need to put in front of themselves so that they can really take a look at it?
Sure. I think the most important thing for women to take away is that the most empowering thing that you can do is take ownership of your finances. Um, and I just can't stress that enough. And it's so important because I really feel that now is the time for us to take to stand strong in our relationship with money, because it's the gateway to forward confident movement. And for those who are felt called to make the world a better place through their work, this is no better time. So that would be the most important thing that I would want.
That's so beautiful. Thank you,
Away.
Pamela. I'm so grateful to, first of all, to have met you and know that there's a woman out there that's doing this. I've seen a lot of men doing this, but it's quite different with men. I don't know if you've noticed that.
You know what? That's actually why, why I got into focusing on women. Because it's interesting, and I love men, but men have a tendency, we're wired differently. Men have a tendency to want to fix you, but women are more collaborative, and we have unique needs when it comes to managing our finances and achieving the long-term financial freedom that we desire. So I really wanted, that's, like you said, that's my passion. I'm on a mission to empower women, especially purpose-driven women, to confidently build wealth from the inside out. And I think that's unique. Most, male financial planners or advisors, don't necessarily come from that approach.
Right.
So,
and the fact is that there are many people, women especially, who feel like very insecure about moving forward with this, and to have somebody just like tell them this is what you got to do, and now you got to go do this, and it doesn't feel very authentic to what has to happen, because you can feel like you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from way below scratch. Right.
Right.
That insecurity comes, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to start. I'm going to look so bad on paper that I don't want to talk to anybody about it. So I think that happens for a lot of people.
Well, and also the other thing is not even knowing what questions to ask. But again, that goes back to confidence, the lack of confidence. The way to overcome that is to get financial education.
Right.
And in terms of building, not having resources, financial planning, when we're talking about, financial planning, it's not just for the wealthy. Everyone deserves competent and ethical advice. My philosophy is you start from where you are. You can't beat yourself up for what you didn't do. Right. That serves no purpose. Let's just start from where you are and move forward.
Yeah. And don't beat yourself up about where you are.
No.
Just be ready to move forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pamela. This is really helpful. And I took a lot of notes, so I'm going to be
I'm glad.
I'm going to be looking at this again many times. And, we're going to put Pamela's links, but there's a special link that you have for people, and you can just tell them what it is right now.
Absolutely. For those of you who are watching the video, I have some free gifts, for you. We talked a lot about, well, not a lot, but we did talk a lot about mindset and limiting beliefs. And so if you want to understand your current relationship with money and why you make the financial decisions that you do, and what may be holding you back from creating the financial freedom you desire, I encourage you to take my money type quiz. It only takes 5 minutes, and it is an eye opener. And I have some additional resources as well, but you can access the money type quiz as well as the other resources on my webpage, PamelaPlick.com/thank you. So
she's starting with that gratitude already. That's perfect.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Pamela. This has been so enlightening and really just edifying as well, to help, bring more confidence. And so who to go to if you want really pointed, focused attention on what's going on with your money. And Pamela's a great person to do that with. Thank you so much, Pamela.
Oh, and thank you so much, Tanya. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be able to talk with you. And, I feel blessed to have met you as well. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon, everybody.